Give us a snapshot. Where was Popeyes at this moment? You get the gig. Here you are back in that leadership chair again. What were you facing?
Well, it was not a good time. The brand had been around for 35 years, but it was in a tired, underperforming spot. They had experienced 7 years of declining traffic to the restaurants, visits to the restaurants. Profits were down for the franchisee owners. Market share was down. The stock price was down, rock bottom. It was $13 in the fall of 2007. No one was happy. Owners weren't happy. Employees were discouraged. Morale was low. And certainly the board and the shareholders weren't happy with performance. So, it was either a low spot or a great opportunity for a new approach.
What did you do in those first? I'm just curious, because I don't know that I've had the opportunity to talk with someone who has really architected a turnaround like this. As I'm thinking back on all the people I get to talk to, I'm just curious, what were the things you did in those first 30 days?
Well, a couple of things. My very first day on the job was standing at a convention in front of all the franchise owners in Orlando, Florida. And so on my very first day, I had to do something to cause them to be interested in a business plan that could turn around the company. At that point, I called it declaring a daring destination. All I really told them was that our goal was to transform this company into a top performing quick service restaurant company. On that day, I didn't know how we were going to do that, but I wanted to assure them that we had bold transformational objectives for the company. And then the second step to that was to get on the road and go talk to the people that did know what needed to be done, the employees in the restaurants, the franchise owners who own them, the people in the company office or in the company field support positions. These people had worked there a long time and they knew exactly what the challenges were to the business. I called it a listening tour. We went to 7 cities, and from that feedback, from that listening, we were able to garner the essential things that needed to be addressed at Popeyes.
Okay, let's stay right there where you left us. So now you've gone out and you've listened and you've got real clear ideas on what needed to be done and how it could be done. And now back to that first day when you stood up and said, hey, we're gonna have a bold plan and we are gonna turn this thing around. So armed with that initial declaration and now some information, how bold were you? What were some of those bold steps?
Well, we created a 1-page roadmap to results. I wanted everyone in the organization to be able to have it with them and understand the bold things that we were going to chase. First, we had on that page our goals. We wanted to get restaurant sales up 20%. We wanted to dramatically improve restaurant operating profits so that the owners could make a good return. We wanted to build market share, and we wanted to build a lot more Popeyes for you that love Popeyes.
Yes.
So we had very clear, bold goals. Then we declared our strategies. We said we wanted exceptional product innovation, lots of new, exciting foods that were delicious that you would want to try. We said we wanted to have faster drive-through service for you so that you could get through quick. We wanted to save a lot of money in the supply chain for our owners to move those margins up. And then we wanted to build our restaurants on better real estate so that they would perform better for the investor. So those were the major strategies that we set out to accomplish. They weren't fast, but over the next 3 to 5 years, we were able to accomplish or surpass all of our goals.
Wow. And so I think I know the answer to this, but I'll just tee you up to hit it out of the park. Why? What was the key or several keys to seeing that happen in 3 to 5 years, which is, again, a relatively quick turnaround given where the company was? What was the key?
Well, the key was having good intent. My passion for this experience was to use it as an opportunity to prove that servant leadership could drive superior competitive results in the marketplace. So we started with that daring destination that I described, and we also started with a heart for serving those franchise owners well and performing as they deserve to be the business to perform. And so our bravery around the goals and our humility around being for those franchise owners, more so than for ourselves, I think gave us the impetus for a stunning, committed group of employees to that turnaround. We knew why we were doing it, and we knew it was important to accomplish on behalf of our owners.
Well, I love this because this leads us right to the book, obviously. How to Drive Superior Results by Serving Others is the subtitle. So what did it look like when you say, all right, we're going to serve these franchise owners, and as a result, we're going to drive results through the service? We've all heard servant leadership before, certainly not a new idea, but this is the first book written in a while from a CEO's perspective where this philosophy turned into methodology. I'd just love for you maybe to share a few of the methodologies or strategies or policies that came out of this commitment to, we're going to serve these people better than they've ever been served. What did that look like on the street? What are some things that you can think back to and go, can this move the needle here? This moved it over here. And it was all a function of serving our team.
Well, the day that we decided that we would measure our success in the corporate office by the same metrics as the franchise owner was the day we started getting our mindset on the right track. In the franchise business, often the small business owner, the franchisee, is viewed as kind of an opinionated, emotional small business person. And maybe the corporate offices were getting tired of listening to them. Instead, we said, no, we not only listen to our owners, we respect them. We might even say we love them. So let's talk about that. I'm talking not about love the feeling, I'm talking about love the action verb. What would it look like to love your franchisees? Well, one of the things it looked like was collecting data. Now that may sound weird, but if you don't know anything about the performance of the restaurants, how on earth could you measure performance for your owners? We had no profit statements on our restaurants at the beginning. So the first thing we did was collect that information so that we could sit in the room with the franchise owners and say we truly did understand where their business stood, and we could truly measure the impact of our programs on moving forward their profitability. A second thing it looked like was listening. Not only did we do a listening tour at the beginning for broad feedback, but we met with our franchise leaders, a group of 10 individuals that had been elected to represent the franchise owners. We met with them every single quarter for 3 days in a conference room, writing on the blackboard, what are the challenges in the business and how can we work together to solve them? Many of our franchise owners would tell you it had been a rare day where they were actually had that opportunity to share what's wrong, and I have some ideas about how to solve it. So listening. I would tell you there was an important positive tension between listening to the feedback of the franchise owners and having the data in the room for that conversation. Because I love passion, but I also love facts. And the facts are a guardrail on our emotions. So we would welcome the emotional, passionate speech about what needed to be done, and we would guardrail our decisions by the facts on how well those decisions served the owners. And that proved to be a strategy that had huge impact on our performance.